Year 7, today we're going to continue our work with decimals, but picking up something that should be reasonably straightforward. Multiplying and dividing by powers of 10. Hopefully you already know this. If you had a whole number and you multiply by 10, most of you are probably thinking just put a 0 on the end. And yes, if it's an integer, a whole number, you can do that. But we're now dealing with decimals, and in fact, you don't just put a 0 on the end. What you're actually doing is moving the decimal place to the right, one place. In the same way, when you divide by 10, you are moving the decimal place one place to the left. And so here we have this table, which you've now copied down into your books. To multiply a decimal by, move the decimal point to the right. To divide by a power of 10, move to the decimal point to the left. And the number of zeros, 1 0, 1 place. 2 zeros, 2 places. 3 zeros, 3 places. It's the great thing about our number system is this is how it works. So let me show you some very quick examples. If I was doing 13.69 times 100, I can't just add 2 zeros on the end. It does not change the value of it. Of course, you're copying these down into your books. Instead, what am I doing? From our table, I'm moving the decimal point 2 places to the right. And I can show that by doing these little sort of leapfrogs. And so my decimal point moves to there. So 13.69 times 100 becomes 1,369. If I'm doing question 2 now, and I'm multiplying by 1,000, I can actually see a problem with this question. So if I multiply by 100, I would move it 2 places to the right. And I've now got a whole number, 254. Now under our old scheme, if you were multiplying by 10, you would add a 0. Well, we don't have the 0, but we can add it because it's after the decimal point. And so our answer becomes 2,540. That's how we get to that. Question 3, we're now moving to divided by. So instead of going to the right, we are now going to the left. 13.69 divided by 10, well, it's pretty straightforward. Just move your decimal point 1 place to the left. So the answer is 1.369. Our last question, 2.54 divided by 100. Straight away I'm going to run into problems. Remember, I'm moving it to the left. I can move it 1 place to the left, but I don't have another number to go over. I need to put 1 there. So I can actually put a 0, wouldn't change the value of the original, but when we're dividing by 100, it moves our decimal point. So now you can write your answer, and I expect when you are writing this answer, you first put a 0, and then you need to put the 4 numbers that are now there, 0, 2, 5, 4. So we've actually moved our decimal point 2 places to the left to get that answer. Year 7, we may not have understood this before, but that's what you are actually doing when you're multiplying and dividing by powers of 10. It's very straightforward if you just follow those simple rules, leapfrog over the numbers, and if you need to add zeros on the end to keep leapfrogging and moving that decimal point, you can do so. We need to get in there. We need to do lots of practice of our maths. Make the most of the opportunity you now have to practice it well.